up on Backyard Science. How to become a radio star by making your voice as smooth as silk.
Give your breakfast cereal real sticking power.
And, oops, melted that butter? Why not make your own?
Make some chopper blades that'll have your helicopter hovering like a real one.
Heading skywards, the levitating power of little fingers.
And a vision tester that'll show you why you need eyes in the back of your head.
You know, Dana, I've always fancied myself as a rather dashing chopper pilot.
Really? And I thought you just had your head in the clouds.
Oh, no. We pilots have our feet firmly on the ground. Until we learn how to take off, that is.
Wilson wants to be a pilot when he grows up. Yeah, right. He can't even fly his model airplane. Ouch! Maybe it's time I showed him a different sort of aircraft. Not a fixed-wing plane like this, but a helicopter. Wilson's about to discover what rotating wings are all about. Introducing Lefty and Knucklehead. Here's Pinky and Nose Driller. And last but not least, the all-powerful Scratcher. Together they are the mighty gang of four. And there's no one they can't lift. Lefty and Knucklehead are under the knees. Pinky and Nose Driller under the armpits. Sit up straight and stiff. 1, 2, 3! Yay! Take a bow, gang of four.
The secret is coordination, with everyone lifting at once. The load is shared equally between the gang, and those fingers can easily do the job.
Let's try it when Priscilla's lying down. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Let's try someone heavier. 1, 2, 3. Yes, levitation works. Hey, you fingers, take a bow. And a round of applause for the gang of four.
Have you ever noticed how hard it is to see out of the corner of your eye? Especially when I'm trying to spot the others before they sneak up and pinch the cookies. I can see something moving, but I can't tell if it's Lucas in his black sweater or Ben in blue. There's Lucas! Oh, it's a broom! That's it! I'm going to find out once and for all why it's so hard to recognize things out of the corner of my eye. There's nothing a girl likes more than a good long soak in the tub.
Daniela, you've been in there for ages!
Now for the beauty treatment. Ew! My fingers look like prunes. That's odd. For some reason, when I spend a long time in the water, my hands go all wrinkly. Back of my hands, no. Arms, no. Legs, no. Tops of my feet, no. It's only my fingers. Curious. I'm gonna find out why.
You go, girl. No one wants to end up with wrinkles in their fingers.
True enough, but nobody wants to end up with a helicopter design that's got wrinkles in it either.
Our budding helicopter pilot is about to get his first lesson in rotating wings. First, I'll poke the pen in the apple. Popstick blades are next. I'll just space them around the apple core. The pen is what you turn to make it spin, just like a helicopter does. There it is. Spins around like a helicopter. Okay, that's just the idea. But this one's too heavy to fly. We need a helicopter that's light enough for the blades to lift it. Stay there, and I'll show you how to make a helicopter that really flies. want to play soccer with Sophie, but she won't get her head out of that book. She just ignores me. How about a bit of fence thumping? No, there must be some way I can get her attention. Oi, Sophie! Sophie! I know. Ice cream. Chocolate ice cream. Wouldn't you like some, Sophie? I know a way to get her attention.
The knee jerk is called a reflex and happens when you gently tap someone's knee below the kneecap. The tap causes the thigh muscle to stretch and a message is sent to the spinal cord. The spinal cord then sends a message back to the knee telling it to jerk.
That got her attention. Oh, she's got the ice cream. Now who can I play with? Genevieve. Yes, at last, a reaction.
Sometimes your doctor tests knee jerk reflexes using a small rubber hammer, but the knee's not the only place where the doctor taps. There might be a tap near the arms, on the fingers, even the ankle. That's because nerves in our arms and legs are joined to different parts of our spinal cord. By tapping in different places, the doctor finds out which parts of the spinal cord might be damaged.
So we're going to find out why it's so hard to see things out of the corner of our eye. We'll need to cut some cardboard into half a circle. Something to hold it with. And a pin to mark the center point. It's going to perch under our noses like this. We're going to draw some shapes, some of them colored. We're going to use the cards, see how close they have to be before we can recognize them. Our vision tester should work a treat. I'm going to find out why my fingers get all pruny and wrinkled. Maybe it has something to do with the amount of oil on the skin. Cut up a bathroom sponge. Spread some waterproof petroleum jelly over it. Pop on a few drops of water. Aha! Interesting. The water's not soaking in. I'll just try some on the normal bit of sponge. Yes, I thought so. The water goes straight in.
Most of the skin on our body has a generous coating of oil, like the sponge with petroleum jelly on it. But skin on our fingers is like the sponge without the oily coating. Our finger skin is thicker and isn't protected by a layer of oil. So it absorbs water and gets wrinkly when it stays in the bath too long.
Well, now that I've solved that problem, it's back to the beauty treatment.
Wrinkly fingers are beautiful. Oh, well, I suppose beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Yep, the eyes have it. So maybe Priscilla's vision tester could come in handy in more ways than one.
Okay, Lucas, look straight ahead at the pin without moving your eyes. Now I'll start to move the card around the outside edge of the base. Let me know when you can recognize what's on the card.
Now.
Okay, I'll note down the angle where you first recognize the red circle. Okay. Wow, it's amazing how far around the card goes before we can see what it has on it.
We see things sharply only when they're near the center of our eyes. We also detect colours better when they're right in front of us too. That's because there are more light detecting cells in the middle of our eyes than at the edges.
So that's why I can't recognize the boys very well out of the corner of my eye. Hey! I think I need eyes in the back of my head.
Wedge-tailed eagles can see twice as well as humans can. That's because there are more than 10 times as many light-detecting cells in their eyes than ours. Good eyesight helps these birds swoop down and pounce on their prey with pinpoint accuracy. Just think what food I could lay my eyes on if I could see like a bird.
Sorry, Dana, I can't think about food now. I'm dying to find out how that homemade helicopter is going to fly.
I'm going to show Mr. Pilot here how to make helicopters. All we'll need is paper, scissors, and a few bits and pieces. A simple model first. Rule 2 straight lines this wide. Rule more lines crosswise about here. 3 more lines down here. Now this middle bit I'm shading, we're gonna keep. You cut either side of the middle bit up to here. Then cut down this line like so. They're gonna become our blades. Then I'll get rid of the side bits. I'll fold and add a paper clip for weight. And there it is, just like a helicopter. Those spinning blades provide just enough lift for a smooth descent.
A helicopter stays in the air because of its spinning blades. Each blade in the rotor is actually a wing. The wing shape creates lift as it slices through the air. The blades create just enough upward lift to balance the helicopter's downward weight.
Okay, now we're going to make some blades that spin around a shaft like a real helicopter. Draw a square, lines joining the diagonals, and cut halfway down each diagonal. Then all you do is fold the corners in. Pin them down. Snip off a bit of a drinking straw, it'll be a spacer. On goes the cork for weight. And test flight time. Hey, the wing blades give enough lift to give it a soft landing. It's a pinwheel helicopter. Go, pilot!
I sure look the part. Roxy Socks Off from Ace FM, radio that rocks your world. For my first interview, I'm going out on the street to get the word straight from the kids. And who knows how tough it is out on the street? More than skaters. How's it going, guys? So tell me what it's like being outcast in your own suburbs. And what about not having anywhere decent to skate? Isn't that right? Fascinating. Well, guys, it's been real. Thanks for your time, dudes. Good luck and rock on. Awesome! My first interview. Skater boys didn't say much, but at least I can check out my questions. How's it going, guys? So tell me what it's like being outcast in your own suburb. What is that? My voice sounds nothing like I hear it in my head. And there's so much other noise. Well, guys, it's been real. How am I ever going to get a gig on radio? I'll have to find out what I'm doing wrong. I'm going to try something.
Ah, the perfect camper's breakfast. Puffed rice. Just give the spoon a clean up. Now. Eh? That's odd. They're sticking. I wonder why. Now they're not. But when I rub the plastic spoon with my rule and jumper, they just can't get enough of it.
When Blake rubs the spoon on his jumper, he generates what's called static electricity. Blake's spoon is now negatively charged. Opposite charges attract. So any grains of puffed rice in the bowl that have a large enough positive electric charge are attracted to the spoon.
Once they're on the spoon, something weird happens. It's as if they change their minds.
As soon as the rice reaches the spoon, the difference in electric charge between the spoon and the rice begins to get weaker. When that attraction weakens, the rice falls down.
I'll give it another rub. And off they go. I don't know, you'd think they'd make up their minds.
going to make Mr. Balloon Man. And this is going to be his cap. But the cap's too small. Oh, it's my last one. And I can't get it undone. This calls for a cool head. Hang on, that gives me an idea. See you in the morning. Wow, it's worked. Let's see if the cap fits. Yay!
The balloon is full of air. When the air's warm, the molecules have more energy. They bounce around like crazy inside the balloon, making it bigger. But as it cools down, the air molecules lose their energy, and the balloon should shrink.
He's not such a big head after all.
I like doing the shopping for my grandma, but boy, it gets heavy. Home at last. I'll just put all this away before Gran wakes up from her nap. Fruit. Oh no, the butter melted. It's spoiled. What'll I do? Maybe I can use Gran's cream to make some butter. I've heard butter is churned up cream. I wonder if... I'll get shaking and see what happens. Man, this takes a lot of shaking.
Keep at it, Sophie. You never know, that mixture might turn out to be butter one day.
Yeah, and hopefully Roxy's sock sauce voice will sound as smooth as silk, if she can work out what the problem is.
My voice sounds deeper and nicer in my head. From 8FM. Roxy Socks Off from 8FM. But on tape it sounds tinny and awful. I think it's because when I talk, I hear myself from inside my head. From the tape, I hear through the air. Now this will help me hear what difference that makes. When I drop the fork and listen to it normally, the sound goes through the air and makes a clear ringing sound. But if I do it with my fingers to my ears, the sound isn't quite as jangly. I don't hear the higher sounds. I guess that's because the sound has to travel through my fingers to get to my ears.
Sound travels differently through air than it does through more solid body tissue. That's why Roxy's voice sounds different when it travels from her voice box through her head and into her ears than when it comes from a tape through the air and into her ears.
Right, now I know why I sound different on tape. Oh well, it's how everybody else hears me anyway. Now to get rid of all that horrible noise my microphone picked up.
Margot's going to be my touch test dummy. We want to find out if some parts of Margot's body are more sensitive to touch than others. First, a feather. Looks like Margot's sensitive to a feather everywhere. Now, eyes. Fingertip test. Neck and shoulders. Arm. All the same. But what about something a bit smaller? The point of a felt-tip pen on Margot's shoulder. 1. Good. Now 2. Huh? She thinks it's still only 1. 3 pens. What? Wrong again. I'm going to investigate this some more.
I'm building something to display my model cars. It's got to be level. Let's try. No, way off. Let's adjust it. Better, but still not level. I've got an idea how to work out whether or not it's level. Half fill a glass with water. Now if I put it on a surface I know is flat and stick tape exactly along the waterline. If the surface isn't flat, the water won't line up with the tape.
What builders use is a spirit level. A spirit level is a tool that tells you when a surface is horizontal. If the bubble is centered, the surface is level.
Now for my card display. This end needs to be higher. That's it, perfect! Check it with the car. My car's not going anywhere. Good. Line them up.
I've got to get this butter made before Gran wakes up from a nap. That's about 10 minutes. Let's see what's happening to my butter. Hey, it's starting to work.
That's because cream contains fat and protein. As Sophie shakes the jar, the fat and protein are forced together. The leftover liquid is called buttermilk. It's actually just water that's been shaken out of the fat.
Just a bit longer.
Hang in there, Sophie. You'll get a warm, fuzzy feeling if you manage to make that butter.
Well, Sophie's the lucky one because Margot's about to get a sharp, pointy feeling.
My felt pen touch test on Margot's shoulder was interesting. 3 pens, but she only felt 1. I'm going to try it on her hand. 3. Yes, she's right this time.
We feel touch through nerves called sensory receptors. The more we have, the more we feel. There are lots on our fingertips because we need to feel what we're holding. But other places don't need to be so sensitive. The receptors are further apart, so 2 or 3 pens can feel like 1.
Now for my next touch test. You stay there, Margot. All I think she's feeling now is a touch lonely. Shake that butter. Shake that butter. I think it's done. Yep, it's buttery, alright. Into a butter container. Now all I need to do is put it in the fridge to hide it. When Gran gets up, she'll have all the butter she needs. As for this, well, in the bin for you.
Phew, another successful Sophie to the rescue on Backyard Science.
Yep, and I think Roxy's socks off is hot to trot in the voice box department too.
When I hear my voice through my head, I don't hear the high sounds because they travel through body tissue. Maybe I can cut them out on the tape by making my voice go through a different sort of material on the microphone. First up, see how the radio sounds with a microphone wrapped in a towel.
The one and only Club P, proudly brought to you.
That's cutting out too much sound. I can hardly hear it. Let's try the newspaper.
You're listening to Club PFM and you're listening to Club...
That's not doing it for me. There's hardly any softening of the sound. Let me see if the foam is any better.
Brought to you by Arden's Precision Springs and Grass Flakes. Only Club P, proudly brought to you by Arden.
Hey, not bad. Still clear, and it's not so noisy.
Materials with lots of small spaces like foam absorb sound and help keep unwanted noise to a minimum. That's why many microphones have a foam sleeve over them.
You know, I think I'm back in business. Look out, listeners. Roxy Socks Off is back and coming at you loud and live.
Stay tuned and you might be lucky enough to catch Roxy on your radio dial.
But for us, it's time to tune out because we've come to the end of another Backyard Science.
See you next time.